Hello. Okay, so this is the last part, the last research area. So survey question that we have, and this one again, this is for Banjul, but then this one is little on the issue of Banjul's vibrancy, economic vibrancy and sustainability. Definitely, it's important that we understand that because history is something to pay attention to, and statistics and data is what drives development, and we need to be data driven as far as our development projects are concerned. So we have seen investments being made in Banjul, like the newly built National Assembly. We also had the president propose building the bridge from Banjul to Bara. So these are investment projects, and the implication of this is as far as other environmental conditions are concerned, we need to be clear and, and understand them really. Um, and then, so here we are trying to do what? Investigate what factors are responsible for people's relocation. Like I said in the previous video, about 25% of Banjulians left Banjul since 1993. This means that this, according to GBOS data, is census data, is about 375 households were existing in Banjul that are not existing any longer. So where are people going? We need to know where these people are going and why are they going. And we also need to focus or understand current residents' willingness to leave Banjul. So that is the reason why we are doing this other part of the research. Again, similar approaches. Section 1, approach people, introduce yourself with respect, introduce the purpose of the study, introduce organizations that approve or maybe supervise in this survey, and then introduce the survey itself by giving a background information, just a little bit, and then ask people whether they will be willing to participate, and be clear about the time factor, how much time this will take, and then also clearly indicate that their data or the information that they provide will only be used for statistical purpose or will not be used in any way to harm them in the future, now or in the future. So once they agree, you go to section 2. If they don't agree, just end the survey and keep that questionnaire. So in section 2, the point here is that we are interested to give them a little background about Banjul. That is what we do there. Just for them to understand that Banjul is not just the capital city of the Gambia, but it has this cultural and historical relevance or importance to the country. And then it is also the epicenter or the engine of economic growth and houses a lot of institutions, including our state house. So just give that little background to people so that they refresh their mind about, Banjul, that is how Banjul is important. So, collect information about their perception, about what? About Banjul itself, how important do they think Banjul is in terms of housing the state house, how important is Banjul in terms of housing government institutions, and in terms of other activities like health reasons, sport reasons, music, religious reasons. How important is Banjul to all of these reasons as far as they are concerned. And this one really will be a household survey. This one we are going to households. I need to make that clear. The other ones are individual surveys. So here, household is our unit of analysis, right? Okay. And then we need to also ask these households, what do they think were responsible for people who left Banjul, and these in terms of migration can be either push factors or pull factors. So push are usually undesirable factors that might, compel people to leave Banjul. This may include overcongestion. This may include lack of economic opportunities, for example, jobs. This may include lack of safety or what they call security reasons, or might include flooding issues or riverine flooding and things like that, or poor environmental condition. It might also include family conflict or misunderstanding among Banjulians, but then it could also be pull factors. So in pull factors, they're usually desirable. Other areas are attractive. For example, the area they might be going to, maybe the coastal road area, that might be more attractive. Maybe there are better opportunities there, employment opportunities included, institutional access may be included here also, or maybe they think that the family thinks that they just need to, find another space for good, not for any, bad reason. And then once we understand those perceptual questions and reasons why people leave Banjul, we also ask questions about their perception about the environment, the current condition of Banjul, and the known use value of Banjul, that we as people have a responsibility to protect Banjul regardless of what happened. What do they think about that? Do they think that no, that's not necessary? And whatever they think, we keep in record. So then we go to section 3. Here we're trying to create a little scenario here. This is not a contingent valuation study like the other ones. Let me make that clear. But here we are also presenting 2 scenarios. We are presenting current scenario of Banjul as it is, which I've already talked about. And then we are presenting a scenario where we are asking people if, for example, everything remains the same. If the only difference that you will have is to leave Banjul, your current house value, your current, socio-economic conditions will remain the same. If you move from Banjul to somewhere, for instance, government will come with a project that will really, really pay for the real market value of your assets and your houses. But we're not giving you something better in the other place. The only thing better is that you will not be living in Banjul, which is an island vulnerable to coastal erosion and sea level rise. Then we are asking just a simple question: will you be willing to relocate if this scenario is likely to occur? If government, for example, things become worse and government have a project that is really going to relocate people from Banjul to somewhere, okay? And government can only do this by providing the current value of people's assets and their goods, including their houses and land value of their area, the area in which they live. So land will be provided, the current value of your house will be provided. Only difference is that you will not be living in Banjul. Will you be willing to relocate? And where to relocate, the survey want to leave that open because people will have choices to make, whether they want to go to West Coast region, they want to go to Lower River region, or North Bank region. So that is open. We're also interested to know, where do people want to move if they were to move tomorrow in the future. Then some people might be like, I want to go to LRR. The Jarankas may want to go back to LRR. The Badibunkas may want to go back to North Bank region. So we want to know, where will they be willing to move to, and are they even willing to move? Do they really think that there will be a situation that they will have to be moved? And what the migration trend is telling us is that people are really leaving. Even though government is building institutions in Banjul, people are leaving Banjul. We need to understand what is happening here. Why are people leaving? Okay, some people, Banjulians who live in Banjul, really know this. But me as a researcher, and for the future generation to understand that Banjul existed and there were people living, I need to tell them why people were leaving Banjul. And that is an important question to answer. So if they say that they are not going to relocate, they can tell us why they don't want to relocate. Why do they think they're so used to Banjul that they don't want to move away from the city no matter what happened? And then again, section 5, we have we collect socioeconomic and demographic variables here, knowing who participated in the survey. That will also help us to know the income level of the household, for instance, right? And to know the age of the respondent, and then the gender of the respondent, and whatever. So finally, section 6 really focuses, just like the other scenarios, we just want to know people's reaction to the survey and the scenario. Do you think that there will be any future scenario like that where people would be definitely be asked to move Banjul? Or do they think that government is able to implement this project? Or do they think that government could not by any way support that kind of project? Remember, during Jammeh's time, there were people who were relocated from Banjul. Where they go, we don't know. But there are scenarios, so we have already seen a case in point in history that this thing occur. So we need to know if it were to occur in the future due to the city's vulnerability, like would people be willing to move, and where would they be willing to move? And that will help policy and government to really make the right decisions, in my opinion. And finally, they will tell us what they think about this survey, Is it interesting? Is it boring? Is it unnecessary? Is it time consuming, and whatever? And again, that is the end of this part. I thank you very much for your kind attention, and I look forward to working with all of you who are interested in working on this interesting and exciting research. There you go. Thank you.